Welcome into Everything Money. We're glad you joined us. Over the past 6 months to a year, you have heard a lot of YouTubers talking about some really great emerging EV companies. The three of which we're talking about is Lordstown Motors, Workhorse, and Nikola, all of which got a lot of publicity on YouTube, not so much on this channel as well, not a lot, not compared to some, but we definitely talked about some of these companies. And if you followed us for a while, we are in favor of EV cars. We love them. We love the way they look. We own them. Paul?
I just bought one.
What'd you buy?
Oh, the Taycan.
The Porsche Taycan. Mo just bought a Tesla last Friday.
I just ordered one.
And I have owned a Model 3 for the past 3 years.
And I actually put a reservation on the Nikola truck. I put my $250 down payment on the truck, and they actually sent it back to me.
And here is the Nikola truck. This thing is...
That thing is awesome.
So we are huge fans of the products, but we have not been fans of buying the stocks, especially when some of these stocks are overpriced. And so, unfortunately, if you're new to investing, YouTube has sent you videos of hype YouTubers who talk about how wonderful these companies are. They're always a buy. You have to buy the dip. And we're here to show you today the collapse of all three of these companies due to not getting contracts, not having chips, can't produce the cars they're saying they can. All of this in this video. We're updating these three and giving you an update of why maybe in the future you should be a bit more cautious before you lose your can on investing these because someone like StockMo told you so. So I present to you Paul Gabriel, a man with $1 gajillion and a huge butt. But tell me about these three companies, Paul. Lordstown, Workhorse, and Nikola. We know you're well hung and well versed.
Well, I don't know about that. Well, guys, we were considered stupid. We were told we were missing everything. EV is the future. These are the three biggest hype stocks. 3 out of 4. Disruptive. You can't miss. If I told you then, when I was hating on them, and you guys all told me, not you all, the people who are the haters, and I'd said to you, they'd all be down 80%. You'd have said, you're crazy. Hold my beer. Workhorse Group. Peak price, $40. Current price, $8. What's that percent? 80%. Lordstown Motors.
Oh boy.
Peak price, 31. Current price, 9. 70%.
Oh boy.
Nikola.
Oh, look at this one.
Peak price, 80. Current price, 12. 85%.
Oh boy.
Folks, if I had told you when this was happening that this company would go down to 12, actually, I did tell you that.
That's right.
I said it was going to go, I think it's going to go down even further down.
You did tell us.
Yes. And everybody said I was crazy. I was wrong. This is disruptive. All the hype people out there were saying, I'm still going to buy it if it goes down. By the way, they've all sold since. I get it. I'm talking about the peak as well. But guess what, guys? As this thing fell and you said, oh, look, it's a great buy. And then it rebounded. See, told you. Oh, whoops. 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 See, do you see what I'm saying here, guys? This just keeps going down. When there are no fundamentals, the company has a market cap of $5 billion, and in the last year, they did $36,000 in revenue. Come on.
Paul, why would you want two Ohio-based companies to not succeed?
It's not that I don't want them to succeed. I want them to succeed. I want investors to realize you can't overpay. I want all of these companies to do well. I reserved the Nikola truck. I sent my deposit, and my friends made fun of me for it. Like, oh, here's another car Paul's putting a deposit in on. And I'm like, It's a beautiful truck. I wanted it. I still do. I want Tesla to be successful because I have 2 friends who own them. And the last thing I want them to do is going, what's going on with my warranty? It'll be covered, I'm sure, by whoever buys them. But saying that I want a company to fail is not accurate. I don't want the stock to be overhyped and overbought and have other people out there like you lose money for buying the wrong stock at the wrong price. It is not what you buy, it's how much you pay. And when you're paying $5 billion for a company that did $36,000 in revenue, guys, my company does $36,000 in revenue every half day.
Yes.
Is that accurate? Yeah, probably every 4 hours. And this did it in 1 year. And they're valued at $5 billion.
So if you're saying to yourself, why are we doing this video, another video on crapping on these companies that were overhyped? Here's the point, is on our end, people flock to us, Mo, when everything hits the fan and they start looking for answers. That's when they find the Everything Money channel. And so if this has happened to you over and over, Mo, how many patrons have said, Paul, it's like a revolving door.
It's becoming countless.
I got burned and then I found Everything Money.
Although somebody did say the other day, because Seth's not allowed to read the comments, but he still does, said, I did read the comment the other day, and somebody wrote yesterday, StockMo is smarter than all you morons, or something like that. I was just like, what was that?
Greater than all.
Oh yeah, greater. It was like StockMo. And guys, we're picking on StockMo. Well, the reason I'm picking on StockMo is he literally wrote an article. He really put a video out there that said, Workhorse is going to the moon. I bought it at 30 or something like that. It went down to 20.
This is a long-term play.
I'm going to add to my shares even if they don't get the contract. Fast forward a few videos later, they don't get the contract, the shares collapsed. He doesn't own the shares anymore. So I'm just sitting there saying, guys, we are going to be consistent. We're going to sit there and do exactly what we say we're going to do. And if we don't do it, we're going to have a very justified reason. Usually it's a change in the story. But when you say, I will still own them even if they don't get the government contract, they don't get it, how can three major hype companies all end up in the same response? By the way, the market's still going up.
Market's still going up, and these are still going down.
And these are still going down.
So, Paul, we know that these three prices for these companies are now back down into something a little more respectable than...
No, it's still not respectable.
Really?
Why would I pay? I mean, why would I pay...
You have a company that's $5 billion, and they make $36,000 a year.
In revenue. They did it last year.
In revenue. I mean...
There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of potential. Of course, a lot of potential, guys.
Well, don't pay for the potential.
Fine, then make this $45 billion.
Yeah.
Make this $45 billion. There's a lot of potential.
$450 billion.
Make this $450 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what's crazy? $4.75 billion for a company that does $36,000 in revenue. Any model you put this in, any discounted cash flow model, if you put this in there, with how long it's going to take them, they had negative cash flow of $233 million last year. Do the model. Model it out for years and years and years. What does this need to grow by? What does the revenue need to grow by and the profit need to grow by before they finally get out of negative cash flow to then give you a return on your money? I guarantee it's not $4.75 billion. And this is an example of when people don't look at the company and don't look at the financials and they're just looking at the stock price. Mm-hmm. That's all everybody cares about, and that's going to get you in trouble. That's it.
What else, as an investor and maybe someone out there who is new to this, what else should I be doing with my money instead of following hype YouTubers hyping up hype companies?
Well, first off, you should be putting a vast majority of your money in low-cost index funds and ETFs that track the market, because even mutual funds have a hard time beating the market, and over long periods of time, they don't. But if you want to learn how to buy individual stocks, start with a small part of your portfolio, 5 or 10%. Mm-hmm. Learn a process that makes sense to you. Mo teaches chart reading. I teach fundamentals, and we're going to do momentum trading soon. Whatever speaks to you, figure out how to follow a set system that works. Follow the system to the T, continue on with it.
Because you'll need this system when the correction occurs. You'll probably be looking for a playbook on how to invest, and that's where our channel really thrives.
A good system will show you about what should happen during good times and bad times. That way, when it does happen, you're not alarmed. You say, oh, I'm expecting this. Guarantee people who bought here are alarmed. There's no way they're not. And if they're not, they're just trying to convince themselves otherwise. They have no idea what's going on over here,
Mo,
or in the income statement or balance sheet or cash flow statement.
Mo, was anyone making money on these collapses of these companies in the Bid&Ask Nation, that middle Patreon tier? Tell me about it.
Yep. I taught everybody how to short on a day trading chart, and they were going in, and I think they're still doing it. When we have days where these things are swinging 5-10%, just go make a couple bucks on the way down. They don't, even on the way up, they don't believe in the stock. They don't know what the stock is, but they can go ahead and make money in either direction on it, and it's just wonderful. So that's where you can capitalize on this kind of stuff. Don't worry about all of this hype. Just capitalize on your candlesticks, and that's how you make money on this stuff on a day-to-day basis.
If you're watching this, you'll probably notice a good number of thumbs down on the video and a bunch of comments below, because this is not a popular take. It's not fun, and other people are thinking that we're wishing harm on these companies. It's exactly not. We're actually trying to support these companies. We just want to make sure that they're properly evaluated. And Paul, in the end, don't you need sort of undisciplined people buying all this malarkey to do what you do?
Of course. And that's the thing. You know, if everybody agreed with me,
that's right,
the market would be completely efficient, which doesn't exist. We need to have hype. And the great news is every generation brings a lack of experience. I was lacking experience when I left. I still believed the hype, because I was like, well, I'm not really understanding this. So I believed the hype. Then when I started learning what value investing was, it clicked immediately. And I just said, okay, this is my process. And it's been with me for 15 years, and it's worked very well for me. People would sit there and say, Paul, your last 5 years have sucked. Absolutely. But you see me, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I sleep very well at night going, something will change. Cycles occur. There are 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and cycles. I added the cycles part. Always going to be cycles. Stocks won't be great forever. Real estate won't be great forever. Crypto won't be great forever. Hype stocks not be great forever. A disciplined approach with a process will win over the long run, and that is what matters. It doesn't matter what happens today, tomorrow, next month, next year. What matters is between now and your retirement or your death, what are you going to do? What's your portfolio going to look like?
If this resonates with you, looking at companies and looking at the financials to properly evaluate them, you can join our Patreon. The link is in the description below. 2,800 patrons have joined us in the last 6 months. Paul, I think we're going to have one of the most successful patrons in the world. I mean, we're getting very close to that number. And so if you'd like to join our
We're already in the top
500?
Yeah, the top 500 patrons in the world. There's 6.6 million patrons, I think 7 million patrons total. How many accounts? Probably a couple 100,000, and we're in the top 500 already. But we also add the value of the software. People who join our Patreon don't just support us. They're getting software. In fact, that's how we used it to basically get software signups instead of building a system out. We said, listen, join the Patreon. It's very well known. Join our Discord. It's for 80 cents a day. You're crazy not joining.
Paul's talking about the software that's behind me. If you've ever wanted access to financials to see the nuts and bolts of what's underneath the engine of some of these car companies, you can be a patron and get access to software, and it's incredible. Our patrons are loving it, and you can see all of our patrons talking about how much they love it on our live streams Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And Mo in the morning, Trader Mo, brings you stock news and analysis, and you can see all our patrons in there talking about how great everything is. So if you don't trust us, just listen to all of the members of our community. That's our show. Good luck to these companies. Paul, hopefully you'll buy that truck. I want all these Ohio companies to succeed.
I want that truck.
I want these Ohio companies to succeed. I just don't want you paying 10 times what they're worth for them, because that's silly. Tickle the thumbs up on the way out. Love you guys. Thanks so much.